All right, kids, I know if you're in the Midwest, you're in the middle of a bomb cyclone, blizzard, snowstorm, weather apocalypse.
But hey, Merry Christmas to everybody out there this weekend.
That's right. This is hitting on Christmas Eve morning, December the 24th, 2022. Sports Frenzy 2.0, the weekend edition. He's a conquistador, Dave Height.
He's the maestro, Kevin Crane.
We will get you through the troubled times, the snow blowing, all of the angst. You didn't get enough milk at the grocery store to get you through.
You didn't get enough bread.
You didn't get enough beer. What the hell, dude?
You drank it all last night.
That's why we are your Saturday morning hangover cure each and every week here on the weekend edition of Sports Frenzy 2.0. And of course, segment one is always about music, rock and roll. But we are not heartless. We are not cruel.
No, because everybody knows it's Christmas time. Well, it's Christmas. Chris
We're indulging.
Isaak's...
We're indulging in the season.
Yes.
Mainly because there's a lack of other new stuff out. So we're going to give you a review of our one Christmas album we have selected for this year.
Yep.
Chris Isaak, who I love. I think Chris Isaak is the man. He's got a smooth voice. If you've ever seen the Chris Isaak show from about 25 years ago on Showtime, which is very hard to find. It's funnier than hell. I've seen him in concert. He is funnier than hell. He's got a great sense of humor, sly wit. I just like Chris Isaak. So, yes, I was the one that suggested this year's Christmas album should be his second Christmas album that just came out. Everybody knows it's Christmas.
Yep.
Now there are...
It's a 13-song, little over a half hour.
Right. There are standards on this, but 8 original songs.
Yeah.
5 covers, 8 originals. So... Not
a bad little run.
Yeah, not necessarily a waste of time in terms of you're not going to hear all the old traditional things and nothing else.
No, but there is the overriding theme behind it all. It's got that 50s rockabilly vibe throughout everything, which is kind of what he's known for with his vocals.
Right. For the most part, that's what he does.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, he will bring his sound up to modern day like he did with his biggest hit, Wicked Game.
Right.
But for the most part, Chris Isaak is a rockabilly guy, kind of like the poor man's Elvis Presley in some respects.
Yeah.
But again, with a little more wit, a little more humor. He knows who he is.
And he embraces it and pulls it off beautifully.
So, I will say, I'm biased again because I picked this album. I've listened to his first Christmas album and I loved it. And I was not disappointed with this. I enjoyed this thoroughly for a Christmas album.
For a Christmas album, it was really damn good.
Yep. For the most part.
As much as I bitched and complained and drug my heels in not wanting to do one, I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad we listened to this one.
Yep, he does a really good job on the 5 traditional songs for the most part. I mean, he opens up with Winter Wonderland, which I thought he did a great job on. And
very well done.
Pretty good job on Jingle Bell Rock. I guess my problem is I didn't like how the album started with mostly the old stuff, and then he put all the new stuff, the originals, back towards the back. And then the one original he put up at the front, Holiday Blues, I really thought was the weakest of the bunch.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. That one didn't quite do it for me.
But I think once you got to song 5, I believe in Santa Claus, where he's channeling Dean Martin. I love that.
That was beautiful.
I think
Old
that's where,
school crooning at
Yeah.
its finest.
yeah, I think that's where the album really starts to take
It
off.
kicks in from there. He did a great Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
Yeah, you got, I think, Kazoo
Yes.
on Everybody Knows It's Christmas.
I'm like, ooh, this is different. I like it.
Yeah, the originals are really good. Again, Holiday Blues, an odd choice for being the first one because the rest of them are really good. Christmas
Yeah.
Comes But Once a Year was fun. I think the best song on the album is Help Me Baby
That
Jesus.
was awesome. I was going to say that's probably my favorite was Help Me Baby Jesus.
And you see the title and you go, oh, this is going to be really religious, really. No, it's about somebody stealing his nativity scene out of his front yard.
Stealing the nativity scene. Help me, baby Jesus, find you to bring you back home.
He's talking about the extension cord getting taken. And it turns out at the end his neighbor brings him back all cleaned and nice. And
Yep.
Absolutely great. This
awesome.
is Chris Isaak at his best.
That's the funny little subtle humor that he has.
Yes. So I agree. And then of course you get Dogs Love Christmas Too, where he actually barks. Translation. Dogs love Christmas too.
And wrapping presents for myself.
It was good. And then Almost Christmas, the first single off of this, is a great song if you take it for what it is, which is what we all do, which is procrastinate.
Wait till the last freaking minute.
Yep. So, and then of course the traditional closing song, "Oh Holy Night."
Very well done. It's an enjoyable listen that'll get you in the holiday spirit.
I liked it. I did.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm giving it 3 frenzies.
3 is spot on.
Yes, and again, Chris Isaak gets it. He understands. He puts humor into it. He makes it fun, but he also embraces the tradition. So like I said, this is his second Christmas album. Now, I love the first one just because he does such an amazing cover.
Malakaliki.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Rendition ever.
Oh my God, I can't get enough of him singing that song. Oh, I just literally, that's got to be my favorite holiday song of all time. Is Chris Isaak doing Malakaliki Maka is the thing we say. Oh my God, I just can't get enough of it.
Holiday.
I don't care if it's Hawaiian Christmas. It's just the coolest song ever for the holidays.
It is awesome.
So,
and it doesn't hurt that it's in a great scene in Christmas Vacation where Clark is daydreaming or night dreaming about his pool.
Just awesome. Just an awesome song. And Chris Isaak does such a great version on his first Christmas album. But I think Dave and I are in agreement. The second one here, the new one, is very, very good.
Yep. Our boys from Steel Panther.
Our single for the week.
And we've talked about it. Everybody's doing their Longing for the Days of Yore song.
Well, we talked about that last week, and I thought Ugly Kid Joe's Dead Friends Play, one of the greatest songs of the year.
Yeah, whereas we weren't wild about Nickelback's.
Right. Yeah, their look back felt a little bit insincere because it just sounds too much like Photograph.
Right.
It felt rehashed, redone, warmed over.
Yeah.
Now, our Ugly Kid Joe sounded very sincere, and so does Steel Panther.
1987.
But Steel Panther, that is their whole thing. That's their whole gig. That's what they do.
That's their shtick, is they go back to the 80s.
They are not an 80s tribute band because they do original songs, but they dress and they play like they're an 80s tribute band.
Exactly.
And 1987 is another great example of it.
Their love of the genre.
Their second release of their upcoming album, On the Prowl. This one, obviously, a little bit less sexualized, misogynistic than the first one.
Yeah, not as raunchy and debaucherous. as the others.
Yeah. Maybe you could let your kids hear it in the car. Maybe.
If they're above 13 and they listen to hair metal.
But yeah, the references to Tawny Katane
with David Coverdale.
Dave and Eddie.
Oh my God.
It's another great throwback. So that with Ugly Kid Joe, Dead Friends Play, and now 1987 with Steel Panther, two great tribute songs to the era that we love.
There's so much that's covered in 1987 that wraps up the feeling knowing that those were damn good years between 86, 87, 88, 89. That run.
Yeah, like we talked about off mic, that was when the Crew, Poison,
Rat,
they were all taken off. They were established. They were big.
Def Leppard really hit their stride.
And then Guns N' Roses was coming into play. Of course, before the, as you would say, the scourge of grunge came in the early 90s.
Yeah. Starting the as they said, how were we to know things would get so lame today?
Yep. Now, see, I can straddle the fence here because I love grunge. But after that, I'm done. See, the music you like now, I can't stand.
You don't like the screaming,
no.
the hardcore.
The chimp monkey disturb crap. No! We're not doing Disturbed. We're not. I'll take my Godsmack. I'll take my Nickelback. But beyond that,
Enough with the negative waves, Moriarty.
I will give Steel Panther's 1987 3 Frenzies.
3 Frenzies. I am looking forward to the full album on the prowl.
Yeah, a few months away, unfortunately. Sucks that the December and January are
the doldrums for new releases.
Yeah, dead barren ground. So we're gonna make do. Of course, we have our retrospective coming up next week. We'll start with our top 5 concerts of 2022, along with 2 new singles. Well, 1 new single from the Winery Dogs, a band that Dave does not know about. So
I have not heard from the Winery Dogs, so I may have to delve a little deeper on this one.
I think Dave's going to like the Winery Dogs. Their first single off their 3rd album is called Xanadu. And, of course, Dave's got to make his joke about ELO and Olivia Newton-John.
Now we are here.
Then an old lost track. The video is very sad because, of course, Quiet Riot has lost 2 of the 4 members of the classic lineup in Frankie Banali and, of course, Kevin DeBro. But this video serves as a tribute. But the song is on their newly released remastered version of their album Rehab. First time ever available on streaming services. The song is called I Can't Hold On. So Dave and I will review that next week.
Yep.
How could we not review
Quiet Riot? A lost track from Quiet Riot. Come on.
Where do you think we are? Come on. But that being said, that's going to do it for music for this week.
Yep. Like we said, it's the kind of doldrums during the next couple months. So
yeah, it's going to be all best of. Like I said, next week, best of.
And we will look for some hidden gem discovery somewhere out there that we can pull together.
Yeah, like last week, we found Ugly Kid Joe, which had been out for a couple months and we never reviewed. So, yeah,
we'll
maybe
find
we'll dig back a little bit. I've got some albums that I'd kind of like to listen to, but I don't know if Dave wants to. And I'm
There's
sure
probably
vice
one or
versa.
2 that I want to do. So maybe we'll pull double reviews solo.
Or we'll change the rules a little bit. There is an album I think both of us would enjoy. But it's a double album and it's not obviously new material. But something I've been wanting to listen to is the recently released Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers live at the Fillmore. Now, there are different versions of it. There's a 2-disc version. There's a 4-disc version. It's a lot of cover songs. So in that respect, it could be an interesting review.
Intriguing. It's one we've never done. So it does fall within our parameters.
Right. But we usually don't review live albums or...
We don't... we could pull it into a story time / lament.
No, I don't think it breaks the rules per se. I just don't know how exciting of a review it would be, reviewing a live version of Jammin' Me or something like that.
Yeah. That tells you that there's really nothing new on the horizon, kids.
Yeah. Now, a couple months ago, we reviewed a song by Wilco that I kind of forced on Dave. He liked it, but we never reviewed the full album.
So maybe we'll do that.
I don't know if that's kind of Dave's cup of tea.
Normally, no, it wouldn't be. But
desperate times call for desperate measures.
I may have to get him to listen to one of the screaming bands.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I probably owe you that. I probably do. So we'll take a look and see what's come out recently. I mean, I know there's new albums from the old hair metal bands. They're putting out new stuff, but a lot of it goes really, really, really under the radar.
Yeah.
So.
But we need to give it its due because, not to be too cliche, that's our jam.
I am with the Conquistador on that. And hopefully you will be as well. Now, as we take a quick break, next up, movies. And we are actually going to review, believe it or not, as much as I have railed on the Oscars and all the awards and all the pretentious movies over the last 3 or 4 years. Yes, I'm talking about Nomadland. Yes, we're talking about Power of the Dog. We actually watched one of the frontrunners for the Oscars and the Golden Globes this year, the Banshees of Inisherin.
Because we love the 2 lead actors.
So stay tuned. Quick promo coming up. We'll be right back with our review. When the mindless zombies at the major sports networks won't leave you alone. When the forces of evil on local sports radio have you cornered. Load up the boomstick known as Sports Frenzy 2.0. Available on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, and Castbox. Kev Dave will drive the dull and boring voices in your head away and offer you the sports salvation you need. New episodes drop every Thursday. And don't forget the weekend edition every Saturday, where the Maestro and the Conquistador might just review your favorite horror flick. Sports Frenzy 2.0. It's groovy.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas from Sports Frenzy 2.0. I'm the Conquistador, Dave Height.
And I am the Maestro, ho, 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 Kevin Crane.
It is the morning of December 24th, Christmas Eve, segment 2 of Sports Frenzy 2.0 on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Amazon, Audible, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, and Stitcher!
Don't forget to check out the Facebook page, where we put most of our sports stuff on, occasionally some entertainment stuff.
Yep.
But for the weekend edition here, this is the place to be. The podcast episode gives you everything you need when it comes to
music, movies, streaming, TV, all your books, all your entertainment, enjoyment.
Yep. Outside of sex robots, we've got you covered. Including movies. And believe it or not, here, the holiday season, a lot of the streaming services are putting some big releases out. In the future weeks, we will have Black Adam. We will have Top Gun Maverick. We will have Glass Onion.
Yep.
But
and then we'll get to the series and streaming TV shows later on.
Of course. Lots of TV and streaming news as well coming. But Dave and I are actually going to review a movie that is well regarded by the critics.
It goes against everything in my nature to do one of these critic-loved movies that's up for all these awards, but it's Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson.
The duo from In Bruges.
Yep, two actors that we enjoy in anything they do.
Yep, and The Banshees of Inisherin, which is on HBO Max right now. I have to say, this is one of the few times over the last 6, 7, 8 years where I have enjoyed watching a critically acclaimed, quote unquote, movie.
Exactly.
Because this one actually, I could relate to it. It's funny. It's a little demented. It's a little odd.
Dark. It's off kilter. But you can relate to the characters.
I thought initially that it was going to be a poignant character study of a friendship that is suddenly collapsed. That's the setup. Is that this is a small village.
It's an island off the coast of Ireland.
Right. It's a small village on Inisherin.
Yep.
Where there's not much to do.
Basically, you farm, you take care of your business, and you hang out at the pub.
And so we start off with Colin Farrell going to his best friend's house, as he's been doing, as we assume, for years and years, knocking on the door, looking for him, saying, it's 2:00, it's time to go to the pub. But Brendan Gleeson, his friend, is sitting inside smoking and ignoring him completely.
Yep. And pretty much tells him, I'm done with you. I don't like you anymore. For really no apparent reason.
Other than he says, you're just dull.
Yeah.
And I don't like listening to the example he gives. And again, this is early. This is in the first 15 minutes. So we're not spoiling anything.
No.
He basically says, you were talking the other time we were hanging out for 2 hours about stuff you found in your donkey shit. He says, no, you weren't listening because it was in my pony shit, not my donkey shit. And I can't do an Irish accent, so.
No, in my pony shite.
There you go. Yeah, we get a lot of farkin'.
Feckin'.
Yeah, there you go.
Feckin' and shite.
Dave does it better than I do.
But
things get dark.
Yeah, Gleason's character, Colum, wants to focus on writing his epic music piece.
Right.
And feels that he's wasting his life on the trivial, banal conversations that they would normally have.
Yeah, and that's part of what I loved about it, is that it's an exploration of growing older, an exploration of your friendships. And now it turns a little really twisted and dark later on.
It does.
It goes a little farther than I think.
It goes way beyond.
Most of us would go. I mean, I felt for Colin Farrell, feeling like he was abandoned by his best friend for no good reason. Again,
right.
Other than the one comment about the donkey shite. But I understand what Brendan Gleeson is doing as he gets older, and he's trying to focus on his creative.
He wants to make his mark.
Right. And then you've got the third friend that comes in, the younger kid.
The young kid who's really lost and doesn't know what life is for him.
So he latches on to Colin Farrell, trying to become his friend. But like Dave said, he's lost. He doesn't know what his purpose is.
Colin Farrell's life revolves around his friendship with Gleason's Column, and then his sister. Farrell's sister. That's his life, are those two.
Right. And so once, again, in a very insular community where there's not much to do, for something like this to happen is devastating.
It's heart-wrenching.
Because everybody goes to the one pub, and of course, Brendan Gleeson has told Colin Farrell, I don't want to talk to you. Do not engage with me.
Leave me alone, or I'm going to...
Don't say it.
I'm going to go to extreme measures.
There you go. There you go. We don't want to spoil.
We don't want to spoil.
But that's... Dave was alluding to the extremes
which later has really, truly devastating consequences.
And then you've got the witch who makes a bold pronouncement about people dying. And I kind of like that, where she says, you're going to have this many people die. And hopefully it's not you and your sister.
Yeah. There's going to be
Colin Farrell.
There's going to be two deaths.
And it's very intriguing how that all plays out.
Yeah.
Very intriguing how that all plays out. And the sister, meanwhile, is trying to find her path. She's miserable living in this village. Everybody just says she's withdrawn and she's not outgoing, but it's more about, just like with Brendan Gleeson, she's trying to find a path in her life, whether it's creative or whether it's just working in something she's passionate about.
Hell away from the crap going on the island.
Right. So you have to look at the movie as and
it's in the mid-20s.
Right. There's a war going on overseas in the mainland of Ireland.
Yeah, the IRA is heavily mentioned.
Right.
And it's between the world wars. And then you have a shite policeman.
Yeah, obviously. Terrible, terrible character.
Horrible individual.
But he drives parts of the story.
Yep.
He's there for a purpose. He gets what he deserves in the end, to a respect, but it's sad. It's tragic.
It's heart-wrenching.
I will again say that this is an award-nominated movie that I can actually say this is worthy of consideration as a good movie.
This is an award-considerated movie that I enjoyed and can get behind and can relate to.
Right.
There's no pretentiousness. This really is life. And it was very enjoyable.
Yep, I agree. Now, I will say that part of the reason that I thought I'd suggest the movie is because Colin Farrell was winning all these awards for acting from some of the film critic circles. I will say this. As much as I hated Amsterdam last week, hated Amsterdam, I still love my Christian Bale.
Right.
And I still think
Christian Bale was the bright spot in the whole thing.
Christian Bale's awesome. I will say that Christian Bale in Amsterdam was still better to me than Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin.
But as a whole, Banshees of Inisherin was a much better movie.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, the movie's much better. And I'm not saying Colin Farrell wasn't good. I'm just saying I don't think it was a drop-dead, all-time great performance. Overall, I think it's a good movie. I will give it a strong 3 frenzies.
Yep. Very strong 3. This was very enjoyable.
So what movie.
Much better than Amsterdam. And I enjoyed Amsterdam. This was much better.
What movie we're going to be rooting for on Oscar night.
Yep.
For once, we have a movie to root for, one that we like.
And that being
now you
said,
watch. They won't nominate it.
Now,
you watch.
That being said, we still won't watch any feckin' awards show.
We're not going to watch it. No.
Award shows are shite, and we won't fucking watch them.
We will not watch the Oscars. We're done with the Oscars. I used to watch them. I don't watch them anymore. I won't put up with that shit. Shite.
Keep with the theme.
I won't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Not going to go there. But for once, again, I'm just happy that we have a movie that when we wake up Monday morning after the Oscars and we look on
and if it got something,
the news,
hallelujah, something worthwhile.
I bet you it'll win Best Screenplay. I think it will.
I hope it does.
I think at least it'll win Best Screenplay. Original screenplay, because it was well written.
It was very well
the characters.
Done. Very well developed.
Yes.
The flow of the movie was great.
Yes.
The pacing was perfect.
And it doesn't have
anybody shiting in a bucket.
Frances McDormand shiting in a bucket.
I can't believe they went there.
Yeah, that would have been the great way to end it. Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson looking over on the beach and seeing Frances McDormand shiting in a bucket. No, I was going to say it would just be nice for once to see a movie like this that we like, that I think most people would like.
Yeah.
Win some awards because it's been too long.
It's not pretentious. There's no overboard crap. There's nothing political.
No, that's another gorgeous thing about this movie. Is it's a human movie. It's about friendship. It's about growing old. It's about realizing your potential, finding your dream. It has nothing to do with any of the politically correct bullshit that all these other movies try to force down your throat.
There you go.
You know what they're going to say? It's racist because there's no black people in it.
It's 1920s Ireland.
I'm just saying.
It's a
period. I don't know how it got through the diversity police in Hollywood. God forbid. God forbid.
You know, and I wish more people in Hollywood would get hit by a bread cart.
Or die trying to swallow a finger.
It happens more frequently than you know.
The bread cart or the finger?
The bread cart.
Boy, if it's the finger thing, we got a lot of problems.
We got issues.
All right. Here's what sucks sometimes. We talk about this on our sports podcast episodes that we do every Wednesday night leading into Thursday morning. And somehow it seems like more times than not, we miss the big headlines.
Everything happens after we record.
Now, normally with entertainment, it's not that big of a deal because we review what we want when we want. But we got screwed this time because we were talking last week about Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Being Superman.
At the end of Black
Adam.
And literally an hour after we taped the weekend edition, news comes out.
James Gunn F's him over.
Henry Cavill is out as Superman. The decision to put him in at the end of Black Adam was done by the previous regime. James Gunn is not making a lot of friends in the DC universe right now. Now, I don't care. It needed to be overhauled. Dave and I have talked about the fact that the DC universe, the movies have sucked for the most part.
Yeah, they've been pretty brutal.
TV was good back in the day at the beginning of the CW with Arrow and The Flash.
Before they went PC.
So I think that's the problem, is James Gunn is now trying to make it more like Marvel. Not necessarily PC.
Trying to go back to who the characters are.
He wants to relaunch everybody and everything. So, what we've got now. like Dave and I just talked about, we missed out by a couple hours on Henry Cavill. He's out as Superman.
Yeah,
James Gunn is writing a new Superman movie to launch
the next round.
A younger Superman. We don't know who it's going to be yet.
Not yet. But Cavill has landed on his feet because he is now heavily involved in the Warhammer?
40,000. Warhammer 40,000. He will not be returning, by the way, to the Witcher series.
No, because unfortunately that ship has sailed for him because they linked somebody else for it.
Liam
Hemsworth. And The Witcher was a role that Cavill embraced because, again, he'd played the games. He read the books. He was all in on it. But he has also been all in playing the Warhammer games as a youth. And so he has that personal connection. So I have no doubt Warhammer will be as solid as The Witcher was with him.
Now, other DC rumors and confirmed facts. Black Adam sequel, no go. Dwayne Johnson has been told by James Gunn Black Adam will not play a part in our relaunch of the DC universe.
Because it was, by all accounts and reviews, abysmal. We will be finding out for ourselves here down the line.
Yep, we'll review it here, as I mentioned, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. They've been trying to fudge the numbers and trying to make it seem like Black Adam made money. I think they're trying to cover up for the fact that it was a big budget
flop.
I don't know if it was a flop. It's closing in on $170 million here in America. But what it needed was a lot more money overseas, and I don't think that's where it really excelled.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. I am looking forward to seeing it just because I want to see the Justice Society with Dr. Fate and Hawkman. Now, rumors, not confirmed, but rumors. Not only, we talked last week about Wonder Woman. Yes, I botched it. I said 1984. Wonder Woman 3 has been put on the shelf, not going forward. Now, the rumors are that James Gunn, in addition to Henry Cavill out as Superman, Gal Gadot
out as Wonder Woman.
Rumors are, again, this is a rumor. Black
Not
Adam,
confirmed.
Dwayne Johnson, fact. Henry Cavill, fact. Rumor here. We know they're still going to put the Flash movie out.
God, just shelve that Ezra Miller asshat.
They're keeping Ben Affleck in as Batman, is my understanding, but supposedly there was a Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman cameo in Flash that has been cut.
How about you just don't release Flash?
The only problem is you still got Aquaman too. You've got that all done, and that's coming out. You know, because half that money's going to Johnny Depp. As I never heard. Just kidding. Just kidding, Amber. I know. You don't have to give your entire paycheck to Johnny Depp.
Kidding, not kidding.
Yeah. So, Gal Gadot might be out as well in terms of her being Wonder Woman. And this one doesn't make me shed a tear at all because this is the other one that's still coming out that we have to deal with. Zachary Levi out as Shazam. Thank God. Thank God.
That was a piece of crap that I did not watch it on principle based on the stupid ass previews. And I can't stand that guy and the bullshit suit. Seriously, come on.
Dave and I have talked about this. I grew up with that
we
70s.
Grew up with the 70s show.
Loved. I have it on DVD. I love it, and I will watch it from time to time because I love the cheesy greatness of when Billy Batson says Shazam. Dun,
The
dun,
lightning and
dun!
thunder
And the
the
wholesome, great lessons that Captain Marvel spews at the end.
Yep.
You shouldn't get on the treadmill at the rock plant while the treadmill's running, getting ready to crush the rocks. Maybe you should go home and study or eat an apple.
Something cheesy,
I just love 70s cartoons. Saturday morning 70s cartoons are the best ever.
Harumph.
And it's a shame that our kids are all on their phones when they should be watching.
It's a shame that Saturday mornings have been taken over by no more fucking news programs that we don't need.
Kids should be circling in a TV guide.
They should be sitting in front of the TV, watching cartoons, learning something while eating their sugar-coated cereals.
With a prize inside that they could choke on. Because, God damn it, how are they going to learn otherwise? Unless they take that submarine that you put baking powder in and sinks to the bottom of the tub, and they try to shove it in their mouth, and they choke on it. How else are they going to learn?
Exactly.
Oh, I bought a box of Frosted Mini Wheats the other day, and there was a prize in it.
A colonoscopy?
An avatar tattoo.
Oh, Jesus God.
Yep. That's what you can get away with putting in cereal now is avatar tattoos.
Balls.
None of those old school fun toys that we used to get.
That's sad.
So yes, I hope Zach Levy is, again, you got the second Shazam movie already coming out.
Shelve the frickin' thing.
And you were right to pass on the first one. I watched it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, not really much more impressive than I thought it was going to be going in. And I did not have very high hopes to begin with. Sticking with superhero movies. They are going to destroy the Spider-Man franchise. They are pulling out all of these obscure villains and but not the cool villains that we all know. No, we're not getting a Scorpion movie. We're not getting a Rhino movie.
What the hell?
We've talked about the fact they're doing Madam Web. And we talked about El Muerto.
No.
Now we're getting Hypno Hustler.
Oh, come on!
And believe it or not, this is a character that goes back to the late 70s.
We don't want the Hypno Hustler.
Well, Sony is going to make a Hypno Hustler movie.
Oh, for the love of God.
Starring Donald Glover, because he's a hot commodity right now. Again, you are going to destroy the Spider-Man franchise by milking it. All Sony's trying to do is keep Disney away from sucking Spider-Man in and owning all of the Marvel properties outright.
Sony is not doing this in a smart way. You have to start with the big guns, the middle tier, and then maybe bring in the lessers.
All I can hope for is that Kraven the Hunter ends up being awesome.
Oh my God, we need Kraven the Hunter to be phenomenal.
They didn't do a great job with Morbius. I liked it better than most.
It wasn't bad.
But yeah, we should have the Scorpion. We should have Tarantula. We should have all of the other better Spider-Man villains before we're getting El Muerto and the Hypno Hustler. Seriously.
We need the Rhino. Come on.
A better version of the Rhino than what they did with Paul Giamatti.
Jeez,
yes.
That was pathetic.
All right, kids, that'll do it for segment 2. Segment 3 coming up, TV and streaming. More hot topics for Dave and I to talk about. We have moments of silence. And, of course, what fun would it be if I didn't have a bunch of dumbasses for Dave?
Oh, are we going to play?
I think this week I've got enough where we should play.
Excellent. Dumbass or not, coming up, kids. We'll be right back.
Hey, kids, ready for a blast of dairy goodness? Pick up Sports Frenzy 2.0 milk at your local grocery store. Remember, when you drink Sports Frenzy 2.0 milk, you're not only enjoying a healthy treat, you're helping to locate missing sports heroes of the past and present. Our cartons and jugs feature pictures of Peng Shui, Ryan Leaf, and Sammy Sosa as we do our part to find the lost icons of the last 30 years. And don't forget our special weekend edition chocolate milk containers, available on Spotify, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Casts, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, because they feature celebrities like Lindsay Lohan, Helen Hunt, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Pick up a gallon today. All right, kids, time to wrap up the weekend edition here. Christmas Eve morning, December the 24th, 2022. He's a conquistador, Dave Height.
He's the maestro, Kevin Crane.
It's time for TV and streaming, and of course that means time to talk about the third episode of Season 4 of Doom Patrol.
Retro Patrol.
I love this episode. I loved
this.
This is
fun.
Creative. This is why I love the Vertigo DC stuff, like Preacher, like Lucifer, because when they hit on something like this kind of stuff is cool. Rita gets brought into a retrospective of her old movies.
Gets sucked in
literally.
to her, literally pulled into her movies.
And the rest of the Doom Patrol trying to go to help her out gets sucked in as well, except for Madame Rouge gets away, trying to drink her way through a solution.
How can I do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shit, I need a bigger bottle.
copious amounts of gin didn't help her.
It did not.
But yeah, it was very cool to see them put Rita back into her movies and then bring the rest of the Doom Patrol in. And you're sitting there going, where is this leading? Well, it turns out the insidious Dr. Janice.
The emotional vampire. The female version of Colin.
From What We Do in the Shadows. Yes, I thought that too. She sucks enough emotion out of Rita that she renders her unconscious. But is taken enough away from her to summon this being that everybody's afraid of called Immortus, who we have yet to see, but we have heard a lot about. So, coming here in the next few episodes, we will probably see this nasty, awful creature, and it will cause Cliff to say fuck another 15 or 20 times.
15 or 20 times within a 30-second span.
Doom Patrol so far, season
very
4,
good.
Very good.
So when do we get the orgasm-inducing mist here in real life?
Yeah, Crazy Jane has herself a moment where,
trying to put a puzzle together, finds the eye of somebody that they've dealt with in the past, and the mist came in and pleasured her in a most wonderful way. Made her glow.
And of course she confides in Cliff, and of course Cliff goes, what the fuck do I know about this? I'm a robot.
That's the one thing I miss. It's the number one emotion.
Yeah, the greatest emotion of all time. I can't argue with that. Now, of course, I've been watching, as always, Yellowstone and Tulsa King. You should have access to Tulsa King, young man.
At some point, I will get there. Hey, I finally watched the first episode of the final season of Peaky Blinders. Got that one started, so very well done. Starts kind of where the last season left off, the repercussions, how it ended for the first minute or so, and then jumps ahead 4 years to where things are going. So I'm intrigued with what we're going to get. So
Very cool.
I am not disappointed with the first episode. So
At some point, I will probably watch yet another Yellowstone sequel. 1923 just debuted with Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren, the hottest elderly woman of all time.
yeah, she still looks pretty good.
Yep. 7.4 million viewers. So this Yellowstone thing is working out very well for Paramount and Taylor Sheridan, I'm telling you.
Yes, it is. I mean, why not? You find something, you milk it with sequels until it dies.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I worry about that. But so far, so good. But you just wonder again.
How long can they keep it up?
Yep. Video game news. I have video game news.
The
FTC came down hard on Epic Games. Now, doesn't one of your boys, if not both of them, play Fortnite?
No, neither plays Fortnite.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. A lot of kids do, though. Fortnite's creator is Epic Games. The FTC is forcing them to pay $520 million in fines for sneaky in-game purchases. Trying to get trick these kids into spending money
when they don't need to.
And they don't have the money, or they've got mom and dad's credit card.
Yep. Oh, kind of like the government came down on Wells Fargo for their nefarious practices of extra fees that they were charging.
Eventually, hopefully, if our government can get their heads out of their collective asses.
Fat chance of that happening anytime soon.
We want Ticketmaster brought to their knees. That's another one.
Ticketmaster, Live Nation need to be held accountable for all the crap. And Live Nation's vertical monopoly.
Absolutely. I'm not going to talk about that this week, though. I'm taking a week off from that. Taylor Swift and I need to take a week off together, preferably.
Preferably on some remote island.
I heard somebody the other day say that her boobs have gotten bigger. Have you heard this?
No.
Yes. She's developed into a full-figured young woman.
Good for her.
Of legal age now. So
Good for her.
She and I can go off somewhere together. I have book news.
Are they real and spectacular?
I think they're real. I don't think they're that big. Not like Rita Farr and Doom Patrol big. Those things are big.
Those things are...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's giving birth to a heifer if those aren't. I'm telling you. Those things are big. I have book news. I might actually get you for getting me last week. Of course, Dave is the expert on all things when it comes to novels and books. I am a big Michael Crichton fan.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no. He knows about this. Great.
I know.
Great. They found another unfinished Michael Crichton novel involving the eruption of Mauna Loa.
Yep. And our favorite whipping boy, our least favorite author, the overhyped, overindulgent James Patterson,
is who they've tapped to finish the book. Can't wait for that dialogue. Oh, look, Mauna Loa is exploding. What should we do? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
What do you
run.
think? One of the most unimaginative, most uncreative writers ever.
He's gotten uncreative.
He's a whore. He's a whore.
He started out. The early Alex Delawares were decent.
Don't, Alex Delaware. Don't you dare say that.
Alex Cross. Sorry.
How dare you disparage our beloved
Alex Cross. The early Alex Cross were good.
Okay. Don't you dare
Sorry.
despair.
I mixed up my Alexes.
Jonathan Kellerman is a god.
I mixed up my Alexes for a moment.
By the way, a couple months from now, new Alex Delaware book coming out.
That's why I had that on the brain.
All right. Time for moments of silence. Couple in the world of music and one in the world of movies that I'm going to see if I can stump Dave on. Of course, somebody dying. I'm not trying to make light of it, but Dave claims to be the be-all, end-all when it comes to movies. He is who I go to for my movie knowledge. But first, in the world of music, Dino Danelli, unfortunately, passed away. He is the drummer for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band, the Rascals, a.k.a. the Young Rascals. Groovin'.
Yep.
Good love.
Thoughts and prayers to his family and friends.
And co-founder and bassist of The Tubes, Rick Anderson, passed away. Of course, Talk to You Later.
Yep.
She's a beauty.
Good stuff. Thoughts and prayers.
See, Dave's just glossing over this because he wants me to get to the movie one.
I'm good.
Okay, Dave. Mike Hodges passed away. Do you know who Mike Hodges is? When I tell you the three movies he directed,
then I will be kicking myself. I am not always up on the directors.
This is tough. This is not easy. This is tough. I'll give you...
Actors are one area. Directors, not so much.
I will go from obscure to the one movie you should know. Okay. We were talking about Michael Crichton earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he directed the film version with George Segal of The Terminal Man.
Okay.
Moving up the scale, widely considered one of the greatest British crime movies of all time, he directed the original, not with Stallone, but with Michael Caine, Get Carter. So we're not even to the best one yet.
That Michael Caine, Get Carter was phenomenal.
This is the one that's going to kill you. This is the one that's going to kill you.
Like I said, I don't know who.
The Cheeseball, awesome film from our youth. Great soundtrack. Sam Jones.
Flash! Savior of the universe.
Yes, Mike Hodges directed Flash Gordon.
Wow.
So I had to put him on the list, considering those three movies and how important and awesome they are in the grand scheme of film history.
There you go. Again, I've never really focused that much on the directors.
It's okay. It's okay. You're a film snob. That's okay.
I am. I focus on the films and the main actors and some of the side actors.
Yeah, I remember seeing the. I don't think I've ever seen the original Get Carter.
Oh,
I remember seeing the remake with Stallone. It wasn't that good.
See, now I haven't seen the Stallone.
And I love Stallone.
I have not seen the remake with Stallone, but I have seen the original.
Don't waste your time. Enjoy
the Michael Caine original.
Good feelings with the original.
There we go.
As much as going back to Tulsa King. Stallone, unbelievable in Tulsa King. Right now, I'm thinking Christian Bale in Amsterdam, Stallone and Tulsa King are fighting for my best actor of the year. Those are the two.
There you go.
I'd give it to Brendan Fraser for just saying fuck all the time as Cliff Steele, but I don't think that really counts as acting.
That doesn't quite count.
Of course.
It's the inflection.
I could go see him as the 600-pound homosexual in The Whale.
You could, but it's the inflection that he brings to fuck out of the robot.
Who's got the better inflection? Cliff Steele, Brendan Fraser as Robot Man saying fucking Doom Patrol, or Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson in Banshees of Inisherin.
Fuck. Fuck.
Everybody's fucking.
Fuck it.
I think that's better. I like it better. All right. It is time for America's favorite game show.
As we pivot,
I have got 5 dumbasses in the world of entertainment who I think are dumbasses.
Let's see if I agree.
We will find out if Dave agrees. It is time for Red Foreman's Dumbass or Not.
Brought
Number
to you
1,
by That 90s Show.
coming in January on Netflix. Let's start off with comic books. Mike Baron. Awesome comic book creator. One of the most pivotal in terms of the greatest Punisher comic books of all time. Has got a new creation that he has put on Kickstarter called The Private American. The Private American is a Cuban-American former Special Forces agent who goes to the border to stop the runs of fentanyl across the Mexico-U.S. border. It has been pulled from Kickstarter and has been called racist propaganda, not in small part because the logo on his chest is the snake from they call it the Gadsden flag, the Don't Tread on Me flag.
Okay.
Which is considered a symbol of right-wing rebellion.
Oh, come on!
So Mike Baron's comic book has been pulled off of Kickstarter because of complaints.
F these dumbasses for wanting this pulled. I am so sick of this PC crap, this cancel culture bullshit. Just let something be. My God. The hell with these damn trolls. This is ridiculous.
They showed a couple in the story I read, a couple of the frames. It looks really good. It looks like it's really well done, well drawn. And again,
let it freaking go.
And again, the funny thing is, the character is Cuban American. Okay, it's not a white Anglo-Saxon American like the Punisher. This is a Cuban American who's trying to stop specifically he's not killing everybody who's coming across the border. The first comic book starts with him stopping somebody from raping a young immigrant woman as she's trying to cross the border.
And people don't get it. They just see one little image and they freak the hell out because some dumbasses have adopted it. That is not the freaking symbol of right-wing nut jobs. The Don't Tread on Me.
A lot of people think it is.
The Don't Tread on Me is America.
A lot of people think it. Now, I never knew it was called the Gadsden flag, so I learned something new.
I learned something new there, too, but it's not the freaking sign of being a right-wing nut job. My God.
It is to the snowflakes, Dave.
F them. That's all right. Wait till the spring when we fly our Don't Tread on Me flag high and proud in the front yard under our American flag.
That's why I had to bring that up. That's I knew you guys had one of those stashed.
Yeah, my youngest kid had it because he loves what it stands for. Don't fuck with America.
Last time I checked, Metallica had an awesome song called Don't Tread on Me. Kind of a theme for that whole deal.
Damn Yankees had the full song Don't Tread on Me.
There you go.
Which was a history of America fighting for freedom around the world.
So am I safe to assume I'm 1 for 1?
You are 1 for 1.
All right. So I am balanced. So I am to show everybody out there that we are impartial. I'm calling out the last president of the United States.
God, I wish he would go away.
Donald Trump says he's going to make a big announcement. Massive announcement.
Huge.
Huge. What is this announcement? Is it a running mate?
God, please tell me he's pulling out of running and he's walking away from politics and going gently into that good night.
He put a set of $99 digital trading cards of himself, which have sold out, by the way.
Why?
Oh, dude.
What fucking moron would buy that bullshit?
If you have not seen these things.
Oh, they're awful. They are horrible.
Him as a superhero, him riding a massive elephant.
Oh my God.
This is why you've got to understand.
All right,
People might
Donald
not think
Trump
we're balanced.
is a dumbass for putting these out, and anybody who buys them is a dumbass for shelling out the money for it.
We are fair and balanced. We will rip on everybody, anybody, right, left, center. We don't care. And I hope you realize that now as we call Donald Trump
a fucking dumbass.
Okay, Dave, you remember years ago, you and I talked about this? We loved the banana splits.
Oh,
when we were
hell
growing
yeah.
up. Again, going back, nostalgia, talking about those Saturday morning cartoons. The banana splits were awesome. And you and I have talked about
Drooper, and Snort.
Yep, we were talking about which little shorts were in the original, which ones came on later, which were the best, which were the worst. But remember a couple years ago when they put out that movie where the banana splits were killers?
Yeah, the animatronics that went haywire.
They've done it now with Winnie the Pooh. There is now a movie coming out. There is a poster out. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, God.
Where of course, Winnie the Pooh is old enough now where he's in the public domain.
So they can do
whatever they want with Winnie the Pooh. So now they've created Winnie the Pooh, the serial killer.
Winnie the Pooh will trigger too.
I'm sorry. This bothers me.
This is
one of my fondest memories of childhood. This was one of the sweetest, fondest moments I had was Winnie the Pooh. Always made me cry when I heard that song when I was a kid. And now they've turned Winnie the Pooh. The movie poster shows a shadowy figure with the ears of Winnie the Pooh holding a decapitated head.
This is
dumb. Is beyond
this
sick.
Is dumbass on a monumental level. There's no place for this. Whoever greenlit this should be taken out and shot. Whoever came up with the theme should be taken out and shot.
I find it unbelievably offensive.
This is horrible.
Taking one of my few pure positive childhood memories and disparaging it like this disgusts me.
It has no place. No.
This is like if they take Johnny Quest and Haji and make them homosexuals and have them sleeping together. That's how bad this is to me.
This is an utter bastardization.
Now just put this idea in some idiot's head.
Way to go.
Yeah, great.
Dumbass.
So I'm a dumbass. Great. Somehow I've turned myself into a dumbass during the dumbass segment. All right, number 4. I'm 3 for 3. Film critic Kathia Woods. I don't even know what. I don't even know what she writes for, what website, paper. We don't care about Avatar. In the end, we don't care about Avatar.
We don't care.
But Kathia Woods says that Avatar is cultural appropriation. Because if you look at the Avatar characters and their hairstyles, they should be black people. And the fact that they didn't cast any black people as those characters is cultural appropriation.
No! That makes absolutely zero sense.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so, because a lot of the comments I saw brought that up as well, saying, so James Cameron should be raked over the coals because he didn't cast any blue people as the avatars, because that's what you should be saying.
My God.
The Avatar people are blue. They're not black. They're not white. They're blue. Just because some of them have hairstyles slightly resembling people in the African American community. God. This is the world we live in, Dave.
Dumbass snowflake, go away.
And of course, she had to respond and say, I'm sorry if I offended any right-wingers out there. No, you offend everybody.
You offended anybody with a brain.
And finally, on a kind of sad, sick note, we've heard about this controversy a couple weeks ago with this bizarre ad campaign where they had kids and teddy bears and bondage gear. The same company that owned that company that did those ads owns Gucci.
Oh, God.
So Gucci comes out, obviously tone deaf beyond all belief, with Harry Styles.
Oh, they're dumbasses right there off the bat.
Dressed, he's got a pink teddy bear shirt on, holding a toddler mattress. And
what sick crap is this?
Again, that's what everybody's saying is, why is it everybody in the fashion world are a bunch of sick fucks? What do you think
pedophiles are out there?
What do you think you're accomplishing by taking Harry Styles, putting him in a pink teddy bear t-shirt, and him holding or walking around a toddler mattress?
What the fuck?
What kind of message is that sending after the company has already gotten in trouble under another imprint for doing an ad?
What sick with dumbass kids? Bastard is running this stuff?
I'm telling you, this is the problem with Hollywood. And again, somebody summed it up perfectly in the comments, said, why is it that everybody in the fashion world is a sick fucking bastard?
Very well put. I mean, that's just, no.
Why does everything in the fashion world have to be so avant-garde and so wild and so bizarre?
No, it's not avant-garde. It's fucking stupid.
And sick. And sick.
It's disgusting on every level. And you wonder why there are issues in the fashion industry?
And the thing is, I see these commercials for the perfume with Johnny Depp.
Savage.
Yeah, and Charlize Theron, and they do their whole sexy voice. And it's like, Jesus Christ, just because they pay you millions of dollars, do you really have to demean yourself to this point where you do this? Johnny Depp acting like he's some kind of guitar god. He should be happy he just got $1 million from Amber Heard. Because right now, Johnny Depp is looking like a fat, ugly French fuck.
Yeah.
And of course, Disney's talking about bringing him back as Jack Sparrow again.
Just let it go. We do not need another Pirates.
So Amber Heard, of course, will probably be on OnlyFans soon.
God, no.
Because she's going to have to make that $1 million somehow. Because James Gunn, of course, is going to end Aquaman. So what kind of future does she have? I love doing this show with this man. He is a conquistador, Dave Height.
He's the maestro, Kevin Crane. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, survive the bomb cyclone here in the Midwest.
And across to the East Coast as it carries through.
Yes, and of course, all you people on the West Coast and in the South who get nice weather regardless, go fuck yourself. No, seriously.
No, they just had to deal with tornadoes in the South.
Yeah.
Last week with the storms.
I'm just joking. I used to live in Florida. My daughter is in Georgia. I love the people of the South. I'm not saying anything about the West Coast, though.
We were promised.
As always, a blast doing this for you each and every week. Dave and I will be back next week, Thursday morning with sports, Saturday morning with more movies, music, and TV. Take care, kids.
Peace out.